Hello out there in YouTube land. It's Saturday, August the 30th, 2025, 5:09 in the afternoon, and thought I'd give you an update on the interruption to Vicky's and I trip south out of Alaska, heading for Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, actually Plummer, Idaho, and to visit Hunter before we turn east. And we were traveling south yesterday out of Carmack's, the Yukon Territory, heading for a provincial campground east of Whitehorse, when about 20 miles short of Whitehorse, I noticed the truck starting to miss, or better described as a stumble. It was just like you caught your toe on something. And the further I drive, the worse it got, until I got to the point that I knew I had to pull over, and I saw a good place with a wide shoulder and a right turning lane that I was able to pull the truck off to the side of the road and get out and pop the hood. And as I was opening the hood, a car pulled in front of us, also pulled over, and turned out that man's name was Greg, and he was there. He was going to flag us down if we hadn't stopped, because he noticed smoke coming from the truck, and he thought maybe I had a brake hang up. Anyhow, when I popped the hood, I saw all kind of oil on the top of the engine and on the hood, underneath side of the hood. This is a screenshot. I was pulled over right about where that arrow is pointing. I shut the truck off and checked a few things and tried making a call to a local diesel shop that had helped us on our way north here in Whitehorse, called Elite Diesel. And after a few minutes of talking with them, all I talked was a lady in the office. I wasn't able to talk directly to a mechanic. Wasn't able to talk to Dustin, the owner of the shop, because they were very busy, and I understand that. When decided there was a big stone area right adjacent to where we were, I thought, well, we'll park there for at least Friday night, and who knows how long. When Greg said, I only live 2 miles from here, you could stay with us. And at first I declined, and I said, well, I'm going to back it down in there. So I started backing the trailer into there. The truck did have enough of pep to be able to do that. And as I was finished backing it down, Greg showed back up with his pickup truck. He had gone home, got his truck, and came back. And he said, why don't you unhook and let me pull your trailer to my driveway and you can park it there? And I said, Greg, it might be Tuesday before I can move it. He said, that's okay. We don't care. So it was he and his sister and his sister's family. They lived together the sister and brother-in-law live next door, and he's fixing up a trailer here in the property that where we are. So that's what we did. We put the truck here. I got a hold of Tommy Hassler of Hassler Diesel in Bethel, Pennsylvania. And Tommy suspected I had bad fuel. And he said the oil leak would not have caused the miss or the stumble, that I should change the fuel filters. So Greg knew all this, and Greg said, here's my car. Use my car and go to Whitehorse, get the parts you need to try to fix your truck. So I did that yesterday. We changed both fuel filters, the one down on the frame rail and the one up on top and up in the engine bay. And the truck started after that, and I thought perhaps it would run good enough to be able to continue our trip. But I did not have confidence, because nowhere could I find where the oil was leaking. When it started the truck, I didn't have an oil leak. So this morning I went out and finished installing the air cleaner, and happened to see a little bit too much blow-by coming out of a breather tube that leads to the air cleaner from the crankcase. So I took the cap off first I just loosened the cap, like I had seen Dave's Auto Center do on many a video on his YouTube channel. And I noticed that the cap didn't just sit there, it had a lot of wobble, or in other words, blow-by. I'll include a short video clip of it here. So then I took the cap off of the oil, where you add oil completely, and it looks like a mini steam engine, puff and smoke, and I'll include a video of that here. So I then got a hold of Tommy. Called me back and he said, "I hate to tell you this, Dave, but he said you've got big trouble." That he thought that the bad fuel had caused an injector to go bad, and the injector then burn a hole in the piston. He said, "You've definitely got one bad piston in that engine with that much blow by. You're going to need major work done." So that's where we stand at this point in time. The tentative plan, I need to still talk to Elite Diesel here in Whitehorse, is to have Tommy send me, he has a short block on the shelf that he could ship to me Tuesday, ship it here, which it means it wouldn't get here till the end of next week. And then hopefully Elite Diesel can install it the following week. The short block can put us back together and get us back on our trip. But I thought I would send out this update and ask for your prayers for guidance and direction as we move forward. What's the best way to go? The other prayer request is that Tommy mentioned that sometimes if I have full coverage on the truck, which I do, that insurance will cover the cost because it was bad fuel caused this truck to fail. So that's where we are. That's what we're going to try. We're going to see what happens. But I thought I'd give you an update. I appreciate all of you out there, and we will give you an update when we know what's happening. Thank you. One more thing that I want to add at the end of this video is we see God's hand in all this. Greg had just pulled out behind us, so if we would have been a minute sooner, he wouldn't be behind us. If we'd have been a minute later, he wouldn't have been behind us and been able to pull over and offer us a spot. Where we're camped, you can see over my shoulder is beautiful. It's a wooded lot, and we have complete quiet, and it is friendly host. Offer anything, the shirt off their back, I believe. So we thank God for his provision, and we look forward to what the future has to hold for us.